Alrighty, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're taking a look at this kind of last minute late night live stream here where Justin Trudeau appears on CNN and has a bit of a meltdown, blames people like myself for just the downfall of Justin Trudeau. He blames right-wing YouTubers, social media people. It's kind of funny. It's everyone's fault except Justin Trudeau's, right? We keep seeing that over and over again. And so that's why while we watch this, I'm going to have a big shit-eating grin on my face, and likely you are as well. So welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another live stream, everybody. Before we get into it, I do want to encourage you all to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't yet already. It does really help grow the channel. And let's have some fun. Let's have some fun while we just watch this live stream together. So here we go. Here we go, folks. Hopefully the connection is good. I am still obviously in my trailer. I'm in my fifth wheel and I'm using Starlink. So hopefully it's pretty good. I should have the settings fine tuned though. Here we go. Here we go. He's on CNN like a little weasel. I guess Canadian media wasn't enough for him, eh? He just had to go and cry on American channels.
And joining us right now is Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm glad to be here, Jay.
Really appreciate it. Before I get into the funeral and before I get into what's going on with you back in your home country, I do want to ask, our country and the world really is watching these horrible fires in Los Angeles. Canada has a lot of experience with similar conflagrations. I know that you have been offering resources.
Just put a price on
Angeles. What advice
on the climate?
Well, I think unfortunately over the past years we've seen it get far worse, and we've seen wildfires increasingly encroaching on urban areas, and that's an interface fire where we're having to train up more local municipal firefighters to deal with wildfires in a way that we never had before. I've been back and forth texting with Governor Newsom. We've offered a tremendous amount of equipment that they're already accepting. There's expertise. There's things that we're having to do to deal with together as we, of course, respond to these fires, but also know that climate change means they're going to get steadily worse, and we have to keep stepping up on fighting climate change too.
He just can't help himself, and he does that weird little smug face right there. This guy can't help himself. Man, this is something that Joe Rogan talked about. As I've seen clips as far back as June or July of 2024. He said that LA is literally just waiting to go up in flames and right until the ocean. And the only reason it hasn't is because of the wind. The wind has saved LA countless times up until just now, obviously, right? What's happening is absolutely atrocious, and I hope there's as little casualties as possible, and God bless all the first responders doing everything they can out there. But to go and to keep blaming the same narrative, I guarantee you he starts talking about you need to put a price on pollution. Like, come on, man. Give me a break. You're resigning. You're the most hated man in Canada. And now you're going on other countries' news channels and you're touting the same stuff that made you hated here in the first place. Give me a break. America, kick him out. Kick him out. We don't want him either. Kick him out of Canada. Kick him out of America.
A lot of people out there might say, what does climate change have to do with this? Explain.
Well, when the summers get drier, when weather gets hotter, when weather patterns shift, communities that were built in a place that never saw fires are suddenly seeing fires much more frequently. There's a shift in everything that means even what we see now is going to just get worse and worse and worse over the coming decades if we're not serious about reducing our emissions and looking for
oh my God,
future generations.
So you are
okay. You've got Gavin Newsom or whatever the hell his name is. He's literally turned off water to fire hydrants. You have first responders. You have these firemen that are showing up. Firefighters are showing up, and they're literally using puddle water to try and put out some of these fires because the freaking fire hydrants are turned off. And he's going, we need to put a price on pollution. Oh, screw you, man. Screw you.
Here in Washington, D.C., even though you just stepped down as your party's leader and you will soon leave as prime minister. But why was it important for you to come here to Washington today to go to President Jimmy Carter's funeral?
Well, President Carter was a dear friend of my father's. They overlapped in their times of service. And Jimmy had been down at my father's after my father's funeral 25 years ago. He was always an inspiration to me in terms of compassionate, selfless leadership. And it was important for me, and I think it was important for the friendship between our countries, that the Prime Minister be there to represent.
President-elect Trump has been needling you a bit, calling you Governor Trudeau, talking about making Canada the 51st state. Did you have any interaction with him today?
No, not today. But that's not going to happen. Canadians are incredibly proud of being Canadian. One of the ways we define ourselves most easily is, well, we're not American. There is such a depth of...
I can't believe I agree with him.
Actually an issue. What I think is happening in this is President Trump, who's a very skillful negotiator, is getting people to be somewhat distracted by that conversation, to take away from the conversation around 25% tariffs on oil and gas and electricity and steel and aluminum and lumber and concrete, and everything the American consumers buy from Canada is suddenly going to get a lot more expensive if he moves forward on these tariffs. And
okay, first of all, Trudeau is the biggest pussy. I just have to come out and say it. I'm sorry for my language. I'm sorry if that's offensive, yada, yada. But this guy starts off by doing his resignation speech going, oh, les papiers. I'm not a quitter, folks. I'm not a quitter. But hey, I'm announcing that I'm quitting soon. Give me a break. Second of all, you're quitting, you're resigning, you're jumping ship right now when you're to face all accountability for your screw ups. That's not being a man. That's cowardly. Thirdly, we're being imposed with these 25% tariffs, and now you're jumping ship and we don't have a captain to steer us through this. This is insane. Who the hell is going to negotiate anything with Trump right now? Trump shouldn't even be talking to anybody from the Liberal Party. He should be pushing his hand on their face going, step out of the way. The only person I'm going to talk to from Canada is Pierre, poilievre, or whatever his name is, right? Because that's probably how Trump would say it. Like, this is so freaking embarrassing. This guy found a way somehow to leave his job and still screw us over in a time where it's the worst time to screw us over. He could have called an election right now, and at least Trump would have been like, all right, let's just pause on the tariffs till the election is over and let's see what's going on. That would have been the noble thing to do. But instead, no, he's jumping ship, leaving the ship abandoned. I mean, for crying out loud, man. I'm so sick and tired of Justin Trudeau.
That's something that I think we need to be focusing on a little bit more.
Did the re-election of Donald Trump and this more direct confrontation with Canada over this issue play any role at all in your decision to resign as leader of your party and prime minister?
No, on the contrary. What we were able to do during the first presidency of Mr. Trump's was work together in a very challenging situation to come out with a very strong win-win in Canada-U.S. relations with the renegotiation of the USMCA. It is a great deal for both of our countries. We've seen trade grow, we've seen opportunities grow, we've seen wealth grow in both of our countries for workers.
Shut the hell up.
Working together concretely is something that we've been able to do in the past, and I'm looking forward to continuing to work with him for the next 2 months while I'm still in office.
Let's talk about this potential 25% tariff.
Nobody wants you. Nobody wants you to negotiate anything on behalf of anybody. Nobody wants you in this country. He shouldn't even be allowed. He's announced his resignation. Why is CNN giving him a fucking platform, man? Am I losing my mind, or is this absolutely insane? I am sorry for swearing, but I'm at the end of my rope here, guys. This guy, the captain here, has already announced he's quitting. He's done. He's saying, I'm out. I want to go and rebuild my family or whatever the hell he wants to do, right? And CNN's giving him an interview? For what? You're done. Go write a book. Get the hell out of here. Why isn't CNN giving Pierre Poilievre an interview? This is insane. Oh my goodness. This is so freaking infuriating. It's like giving Kamala Harris an interview. You lost. Why are you giving her a platform? Come on.
from the United States on Canada. Economists say that will drive the Canadian economy into a recession, and the Canadian government is preparing retaliatory tariffs if these actually go through. Which do you think would be potentially the most effective against the United States? I don't want them, by the way, just as an American, I don't want these tariffs, but minerals, energy?
We don't want them either. We do not want to see tariffs on our side. We do not want to see tariffs on your side. It's bad for people who have, for generations, made things together and been successful together to actually start creating barriers between economies like ours. Like, we have so many resources in Canada, more than our market can support. So we export them to our closest friend who can rely on them. It is a win-win for us. We would definitely respond, as we did years ago when President Trump put tariffs on steel and aluminum. We responded by putting tariffs on Heinz ketchup, on playing cards, on bourbon, on Harley Davidson, on things.
Tariffs on ketchup
that would hurt American workers. But we don't want to do that because it drives up prices for Canadians and it harms.
Hey, Trump, if you're going to put tariffs on us, we're going to tariff your ketchup. And maybe your mustard too, and your playing cards. Your ketchup and your playing cards and your bourbon. That's right. You heard it right here from frickin' Justin Trudeau. If tariffs come on Canada, is this even a real thing? Is this a skit? We're going to tariff, just like we have in the past, your ketchup, not your mustard, but your ketchup specifically, your playing cards, and your bourbon. I mean, this guy... Why is CNN? I'm still rapping. I'm going to watch the full thing. We're going to watch the full thing. I'm going to be saying the same thing throughout the entire interview. I'm going to be saying the same freaking thing. Why is CNN giving him a platform? He hasn't even done a one-on-one with CTV. He hasn't done a one-on-one with CBC. He hasn't done a one-on-one with Global News since announcing his resignation. But he goes to American CNN and he talks about how we're going to tax America's ketchup, their playing cards, and their bourbon. Am I missing something here, or was he just bonked on the head one too many times? Remember when his wife threw the wine bottle at him, or the high heel, and he had the perfect dent right in the middle of his forehead? I feel like that caused brain damage, more so than already existing brain damage. This guy he's loony. He's a loony bin. He's absolutely a loony bin.
Our closest trading partner.
Is there nothing that Donald Trump is saying about trade status and relations right now where you think that he has a point? There's nothing you think that is unfair?
I mean, the conversation around tariffs started around border concerns. And what I spoke with him about in Mar-a-Lago was the fact that less than 1% of migrants into the United States, less than 1% of fentanyl into the United States comes from Canada. But there are absolutely more things we can do.
And you pledged $1 billion to enhance border security.
And we're strengthening. That's a clear win for President Trump. That got us.
Okay, so this interview just happened, and he's talking about meeting Trump in Mar-a-Lago. Now, we all saw when Trump talked about his meeting with Justin Trudeau at Mar-a-Lago. He just did that yesterday. I posted that in a video. And Trump said that in his sit down with Justin Trudeau at Mar-a-Lago, Trudeau is the one that said, if you cut out of $200 billion subsidies that America is giving Canada, we're going to go bankrupt and it's going to collapse our economy. That's what Trump said that Trudeau said, right? He said, she said. It's all hearsay. Justin Trudeau has a real opportunity right now to debunk it. And if in the next few minutes, Justin Trudeau does not acknowledge the fact that allegedly he told Trump that $200 billion, that's what's going to be enough to push Canada over the edge and collapse and totally bankrupt our economy, then that means that what Trump said is true. You have an opportunity right now to debunk it. And if he doesn't in the next few minutes, by the end of this interview, that means that $200 billion is the make or break for Canada's economy. That is pathetic. That is sad. We need to tax more than their ketchup to recover $200 billion. Oh, my God.
To do even more, to reduce even further the minimal amounts coming in. On trade, there's more that we can do, but we should be focused on making sure that we're replacing Chinese lithium or Chinese germanium or Russian titanium into American productions by relying on your closest and friendliest trading partner in Canada. We can be a strong supplier of things that the U.S. needs to compete around the world because we can do it together. That's the argument that I'm making.
So the struggle that you were having domestically, your disapproval rating had to do with, as I understand it, discontent with your government because of high inflation and the economy, and also because of immigration policies. Those are also issues that the left-wing party in this country.
No, how about the fact that he's a communist dictator? How about the fact that he admires China's communist dictatorship? How about the fact that he abused the Emergencies Act? He invoked a War Measures Act and beat the shit out of people, Canadians that were there with their families, playing hockey in the streets, throwing snowballs, that were picking up trash and feeding the homeless. How about the fact that he's ruined our economy? How about the fact that he called everybody that went against his mandates a bunch of Nazis? How about the fact that he's a genuine piece of crap that's gaslighting people? How about the fact that he is trying to do a 180 on his immigration policies? How about the fact that he ruined us and now he's saying I can fix it? How about the fact that he's not taking accountability? How about the fact that we don't like his fucking face? There's so many more reasons than what CNN just named. Come on. Come on. How about the fact that he's trying to tax the weather? Come on. Do I need to go on? How about the fact that he's freezing people's bank accounts? Come on. How much time you got? I can do this all day. Give me a break. How about the fact that he's picking fights with India? How about the fact that he's jumping ship when we're being threatened 25% tariffs? Come on. Come on, man. Are you kidding me? I got lots of how about the facts. Come on, CNN.
Has faced a lot of disapproval of and just lost an election over. It seems like voters in both of these, liberal democracies are sending a message to left-wing parties, liberal parties. We don't like how you're doing the economy when it comes to inflation. We don't like how you're doing immigration.
There are a lot of feelings involved. I mean, if you look at the
Fuck you with your feelings, dude. Are you kidding me? Nobody cares about your feelings, Justin. Nobody gives a fuck about your feelings. Nobody cares about what you have to think, what you have to say. Do your job. Do your job. Politicians, we don't care about your feelings unless you're doing good. If you're doing good for the economy, if you're actually benefiting the population, you're doing good, then hell yeah, we care about your feelings. Oh man, you're stressed, take a day off. You've done wonders. You're doing an amazing job. Take a rest. But if you're screwing us over like this shitbag has been doing, we don't care about your feelings. Why do I have to say it? Why do I have to seem like the bad guy that's saying it? We don't care about your feelings, Justin. We don't. You've screwed us over. You've put people out of business. People have died. People have died. And they haven't been able to say, their loved ones weren't able to say goodbye because of you. Like, give me a break. People's lives have been ruined because of you. But your feelings? There's a lot of feelings? You bet your ass. Get the fuck out of here, man. What is wrong with this guy?
Actual numbers, inflation in Canada was lower, came down quicker. Our economy bounced back faster after the pandemic.
No.
Anyone else's, including the United States, were projected to grow faster than the United States and all other G7 countries next year.
Give me a break.
Very well. But when someone's paying $8 for a...
Our economy's doing really well, folks. Our economy's doing really well. Blueberries are supposed to be $15 for a handful of blueberries. Housing is supposed to be $2 million for a shitbox 2-bedroom, 1-bath. That's supposed to happen. You're supposed to be underpaid and underappreciated. Our economy is doing fine, according to Justin Trudeau. Give me a break. Come on.
Head of lettuce. It doesn't matter that you're doing better than they are in Spain or somewhere else. There's a sense that, okay, something's got to give. And that's where incumbents are in.
This fucking idiot, this absolute idiot, dude. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for swearing. I'm sorry for being triggered and like emotionally invested in this. But this guy has ruined people's lives. Friends of mine, their lives have been flipped upside and down. People have been injured. People have died because of this guy. Are you kidding me? And you have the audacity to say, well, hey, we're doing better than Spain, so you should be you should be happy, man. We're doing better than Spain and other places. Fuck you, dude. Are you kidding me? How out of touch are you? East Hastings in Vancouver has quadrupled in size in the past couple of years. People are on the verge of bankruptcy. People have died because of you. Here in Canada, not going to fight wars, not to mention that too, but people have literally died here in Canada because of you, because of the shit that you've forced people to do or not do. You're a imbecile. You're a maniac. And you're going on here on CNN going, oh, we're doing better than Spain. Oh my God. Sorry, folks. I'm sorry. Sorry for being all pissed off. I'm sorry for swearing, but man, at what point? This guy resigned. He resigned. Why the fuck is he on CNN? I'm sorry for swearing. I'm sorry for swearing. He resigned. Who gets to do that? How do you get to resign and then still go and do interviews? Get out. Get out. Get out. Interview Pierre Poilievre. Holy shit, man.
Trouble everywhere across the everywhere around the world, not just in our two countries. The issue, though, is that in a time of crisis, responsible politics is around focusing on things that actually make a real difference in people's lives. We delivered $10 a day childcare.
That's part of the problem. That's part of the problem. Justin, that's part of the problem. The fact that you've done all of these social programs, bro, that's part of the problem. And he's about to say we're delivering dental care. We're delivering dental care and $10 a day childcare. Dude, I got 2 kids. I would benefit greatly from $10 a day childcare. You know how long it takes for me to go on a waiting list? 4 years. 4 years. They don't need childcare. They're going to be in school or they're going to be homeschooled or whatever, right? That's absolutely insane. So if you're planning on having kids and you want them to go into childcare, make sure you plan ahead. 3-4 years before you have kids, then sign them up for childcare, $10 a day childcare. This guy's absurd. He's handed out billions of dollars in these social programs. Dude, these social programs would be fine if our economy was fine. If you weren't paying $10 or whatever he said for a head of lettuce, if you weren't paying $15 for 3 blueberries, it would be amazing to have social programs in this utopia where things are affordable. Unfortunately, we're not in that utopia. We're in the real world and we've given away billions of real dollars and billions of real equivalent of dollars of equipment to a country to fight a war when we are now defenseless. This guy is a disingenuous piece of garbage. Disingenuous piece of garbage. Social programs are fine in a utopia when the economy's fine. I'll say that again. That's fine. But right now, the economy is not fine. So these social programs are driving us into billion-dollar deficits. He's bragging about these things when we just doubled our budget. We doubled the budget. Are you kidding me? $60 billion deficit for the quarter. And he's bragging about, that's easy to say. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Give me a Mr. Beast's credit card and see me bragging about things. Come on, and I'll just rack up the charges. Who cares? Someone else will pay for it. Piss off, dude.
Delivering a dental care program that provides free dental care to people who don't have coverage. We're moving forward on putting a price on pollution that puts more money in the pockets of 8 out of 10 Canadians, of middle-class Canadians. These are policies that are not short-term. They're policies.
Okay, down in the comments, who is receiving more money than what they're paying for the carbon tax? Because I'm not, and I don't know anybody who is. I feel like he's just gaslighting Canadians, and now he's trying to gaslight Americans. What is the purpose of this? Who is he talking to on CNN? Which Americans? Who in America is watching this going, you know what's missing out of my day today from watching the American news? Listening to Justin Trudeau, the man who screwed over Canada and then resigned in the most inconvenient time possible. That's who. At least if he stayed on and didn't resign, we would have had an election. At least that. The worst thing he's done is prorogue and resign. That's the worst fucking thing he could have possibly done. That's the absolute worst thing he could have done. This is insane. Why? What the hell? I want to write a strong-worded letter to CNN and say, what the hell is wrong with you guys? This is absurd to me. This doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense at all.
That will have a deep impact in the well-being of Canadians and of our country for years to come. Now, you can take those policies, like a childcare policy, and say, oh, see, that's just about wokeness and about, women's rights. Well, no, it's about getting more women into the workforce at a time where we need economic growth. That's what it is. But when you get I was going to say conflagration, but at least an intersection of both right-wing policy, right-wing attacks and social media, you end up with a lot of misinformation, disinformation, and
there you go. He's blaming, he's blaming right-wing social media attacks. So I am part of the reason why Justin Trudeau resigned, and all other YouTubers alike. All other Canadian YouTubers, we're all part of the reason. Congratulations, fellas. To any other YouTubers that are watching, good job. We're all part of the reason Justin Trudeau resigned. Right here with Justin Trudeau's interpretation of mis and disinformation. Trudeau crying in the thumbnails, we're the reason. We're the reason he resigned. Pierre destroys Justin Trudeau, we're the reason he's resigned. And that people don't like him. Never mind the fact that he's screwed over people. Never mind the fact that he's basically murdered Canadians here. He's responsible for a bunch of Canadians whose lives have flipped upside down. Never mind that. Never mind making housing unaffordable. Never mind flooding our gates with actual terrorists. There's ISIS people here in Canada. Bravo, Justin. Bravo. No, that's not why people don't like you. It's because of our videos. It's over, right? It's over. I said it's over too many times. And then he's like, oh, you know what? People have decided that it must be over. So I guess I'm going to resign. And all other YouTubers alike, right? He's destroyed. Checkmate. Chaotic, right? We're the reasons. We're the reasons. Justin Trudeau has resigned. That's absolutely mental. That's absolutely mental. This guy is, I think he's a sociopath. I want like a psychologist to analyze him. I think Justin Trudeau is absolutely insane. I think he's lost it.
Responsible governments have to stay focused on the policies that are making a difference, and that's what we've been doing.
I know you have to go. Before you go, I know you're not going to say who you want to succeed you, but whether it's Wayne Gretzky or Chrystia Freeland, what's your number one piece of advice for your successor when it comes to President Trump?
Understand that the win-win is what we need. Making sure that everyone understands that we do better when we work together, that yes, the American president has a capacity to hurt the Canadian economy. There's no question about that. But anything an American president does to hurt the Canadian economy will also hurt American consumers, American workers, and American growth. We do better when we work together to take on the world, whether it's China or Russia or anywhere else. When we work together, we can't be stopped. And that's the focus that we need to have. And that's certainly what I've continued to work on with President Trump.
Prime Minister Trudeau, thank you so much.
Again, he's living in this utopia that just doesn't exist. You know what's going on right now with the entire world? It's the year-end review, okay? I know it's a new year, but just stay with me for a second. Every single country around the world is looking at their finances the way you likely, and myself included, look at finances, right? Some people do it at the end of the week. Some people do it once or twice a month. Some people do it once or many times a year, right? You know what I'm saying? You go through your bank account. You look at all of the pre-authorized payments. Okay, Disney is, $18 a month. And I know what you're thinking. Come on, Mrs. Sunshine. You're not supposed to have Disney. Chrystia Freeland said you wouldn't be poor if you got rid of Disney. My bad. Okay. So you got Netflix. So you're paying for these things, right? Every month, your phone bill, your gas bill, your mortgage, your rent. You look at the checklist of all of your monthly expenses and yearly expenses. You know what's going on in the world right now? Every country around the world is doing that. Every country around the world is looking at the list of expenses from said country, except Canada, because we're in a $60 billion utopian deficit. Money doesn't matter. But America and other countries that are using their freaking brain are looking at their expenses and they're going, okay, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And Trump saw $200 billion going to Canada. And he's thinking, well, are we getting more than $200 billion profit? Like, what's going on with that? And he's reviewing it and realizing, no, that's a handout. That's a handout. So Justin Trudeau is talking about working together with other countries. He still doesn't get it. He still doesn't get it. Pretend there's a dome around Canada. How are you going to survive? Nothing gets in, nothing goes out. What the heck are you going to do, Justin? The utopia of working with other countries, it doesn't always work out, especially when other countries are doing that year-end review and they're realizing that they're spending more money than what they're making. So that's the difference right now between Pierre Poilievre and Justin Trudeau and the Liberals. Is Pierre and the Conservatives want to have that bubble around Canada so that we can just be self-sufficient. We've got corporations here. We've got food here. We've got fuel. We've got energy. We have stuff here in our little bubble and we're not relying on other countries. We're self-sufficient. That's how a country should operate. And then if you want to grow the economy, sure, bring in trade deals. I understand we can't grow oranges year round or avocados. I get that. Sometimes you got to get them from Mexico or wherever. I get that, okay? But still, other things, bigger picture, in the grand scheme of things, a country should be self-sufficient, like a homestead. Like a homestead, you get an acreage, you got chickens, you got a couple of cows, you got some goats, you got the whole shebang. You're a self-sufficient ecosystem. Canada has more than enough resources to do that. And Justin Trudeau is not doing that. He hasn't prioritized that at all, which is why we're in this absolute clusterfuck that we're in. And Pierre Poilievre is coming in with this massive shit show going, okay, now we have to turn Canada into a homestead. Look, I love America. I like America. I got friends in America. Chances are you like America too. I don't think that we should be absorbed by America. Not yet. Give us a chance. Give us a chance. Give Pierre a chance for us to be our little homestead, our Canada homestead. Let's be self-sufficient for a little while. Let's bring patriotism back. Let's bring businesses back. Let's bring back a booming economy. And then let's see where we stand. That's my thoughts, folks. I'd love to know yours. Justin Trudeau is a disingenuous piece of garbage, man. I can't stand that guy. And I don't know why he's going on CNN. I have absolutely no idea why he was on CNN, but that's a stupid decision. They should be bringing Pierre Poilievre on. And I hope that we see Trump meet with Pierre Poilievre very, very soon. And when you're talking about degrees of people, right? Jordan Peterson is buddies with Elon Musk and Joe Rogan. And of course, they're friends with Trump. So the fact that Pierre Poilievre has done this massive sit down just the other day with Jordan Peterson, he's 1 degree, 2 degrees away from Trump himself. So I think that we're going to see it very, very soon. A Trump and Pierre Poilievre sit down. And I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be really great. And I think Trump wants this change of government just as much as we do. Maybe a little bit less, but I think he really wants it because nobody wants this guy steering the ship anymore. And this guy is just a freaking idiot. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the live stream. I want to thank you all for tuning in here. Sorry for the late night, last second broadcast, but I was just about to record a video about this. And I was like, you know what, man, let's just go live. Give the people what they want. Peace and love, everybody. Smash the like button if you haven't yet already. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow for some more videos. Bye for now.